solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary was already being celebrated on the 15th of August in the 5th century. It bore the sense of Our Lady's birth into heaven, or in the Byzantine tradition, her Dormition. The feast began to be celebrated in Rome in the middle of the 7th century. It was not until November 1, 1950, that Pope Pius XII proclaimed the dogma of Mary's Assumption's body and soul into heaven. In the Apostles' Creed, we profess our faith in the resurrection of the body and in life everlasting. This is the ultimate goal and meaning of our life's journey. This promise of faith is already accomplished in Mary, who is the sign of sure hope and comfort. It is a privilege granted to Mary and closely connected to her being the mother of Jesus. Since death and the corruption of the human body are consequences of sin, it was not right that the Virgin Mary, who is free from sin, should be affected by this natural law. Hence, the mystery of her Dormition or Assumption into heaven. The fact that Mary has already been assumed into heaven is a reason to celebrate, to rejoice, to hope in the already and the not yet. One of God's creatures, Mary, is already in heaven. With her and like her, we too, who are God's creatures, will one day be there too. Mary's destiny, united to the transfiguration and glorious body of Jesus, is therefore the destiny of all those who are united to the Lord Jesus in faith and love. It is interesting to note that the liturgy to the biblical text taken from the book of Revelation and the Gospel according to Luke, the Canticle of the Magnificat, helps us not so much to reflect as to pray. In fact, the Gospel suggests that Mary's mystery be read in the light of her prayer, the Magnificat, that is through the lens of gratitude's love and extends from generation to generation, and the predilection of the least and the poor. Its choicest fruit, you could say its or masterpiece, is Mary, a mirror in which the entire people of God can see its own features reflected. The solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, body and soul, is an eloquent sign of how not only the soul but also the body is included in the biblical observation that God found it very good. Genesis 1 verse 31. So much so that in the Virgin Mary, our flesh would be assumed into heaven. This does not exempt us from committing ourselves to life here on earth, but rather with our gaze fixed on to goal, on heaven, our homeland. We are driven to commit ourselves during our present life to reflect the Magnificat, to rejoice in God's mercy, to be attentive to our brothers and sisters as we meet along the way, beginning with the weakest and the most vulnerable.